Hello everybody, this is a quick unboxing, a closer look and a review of the new Pictek 50 miles amplified indoor HDTV antenna. And first I'll show you what comes inside the box, and then I'll show you how it works, and finally I'll do my quick review of the product. So let's start off with the box. It comes with some information about the features of the antenna. This is an antenna that's meant for indoor use, and it has or is supposed to have a range of 50 miles. And in the back you get some instructions as well as the contents of the box, and also some tech specs. And I'll put a link here in the description so you can buy it from Amazon if you want to. It's about 20 bucks, so a pretty affordable product if you are looking to cut the cord or cancel your cable services. So let's go ahead and check it out. Looks like we have the antenna as well as the amplifier, and nothing else. So let's start off with the amplifier itself. So a pretty simple device. This is the part where you are supposed to hook up the antenna, and this is where you power it. You power it through your TV or your DVR box or through the wall. This is a USB, of course, so it doesn't come with the adapter to connect it to the wall. You will have to buy that separately. And this is the part that will go to your TV, the coaxial cable. And the antenna. Let's see what else comes inside. Looks like you get some stickers for placing it on the window, and your instructions and your warranty information. It's a cool drawing on how to connect it to your TV. Pretty simple. It should be pretty simple. And finally, the antenna itself. This is very, very light and also very flexible. As you can see, it pretty much bends into any kind of shape that you would like to. It's pretty convenient if you want to just paste it or like to stuck it in your window. I can definitely see that that could work by using this small stickers that it came with. And on the other side you get the antenna, or the shape of the antenna. It looks like it also comes with the sticker as well to come in or to paste it onto your window. Pretty convenient. And the cable that would go into the amplifier. So a pretty simple device. Next I will show you how to hook it up into your TV and to make it work. So just a quick note before I move into the functionality. The amplifier, like I said before, it comes with just a USB port to hook it up into your TV or to your DVR. It does not come with an adapter like this one. This did not come with the antenna. You will have to buy one separately if you want to plug in the adapter or the amplifier into the wall. It's a pretty simple device. You can find it in any kind of electronic store for really cheap. But just a quick note about that. If you want to plug it into the wall, you will need to buy one of these adapters. Alright, so to test the functionality of the product, I have brought in the antenna as well as the amplifier that you see there on the table. Here to the second floor of my house, where I have a small TV. And I brought it upstairs because the reception should be a little bit better here upstairs. And I haven't hooked it up yet, but I have the antenna over there facing the window of my house. And just so you know, I am about 20 or 25 miles north of downtown Atlanta. So I should be able to get a good amount of channels here, especially considering that this is a 50-mile antenna. But we will see that. I haven't hooked it up to the TV yet, but I will do. I'll show you how it's done. Alright, so now moving on to the installation of the antenna. It should be relatively simple to install. Depending on the brand and model of the TV that you own. In my case, this is just a standard small Samsung TV that I got back in 2012, I believe. And this is the back of the TV. You get the inputs in this side right here. And I was lucky to see that that this TV also came in with a small USB port right here. So I should be able to use this port to power up the amplifier of the antenna. And I also brought in, of course, the amplifier right here with all the ports and the cables. And I also have here in my other hand the coaxial cable that comes from the antenna itself. So make sure that you recognize both different kinds of coaxial cables right here. So what you want to do, it's very simple. You just plug in, this is the cable or the coaxial cable that comes in from the antenna. And you just plug it into the to the female coaxial cable from the amplifier. And this should amplify the signal coming in from the antenna, so you can so you're able to get the full 50 miles that they announce on the packaging. So you install it right there until it doesn't go any further, just like a standard coax cable. And this side right here, the other end of the amplifier would go into your TV. This is the antenna in port in your TV. Just as you would hook in into your cable or to your standard connection going into your TV. So another thing that I forgot to mention is that if in the case that you don't have a USB port on your TV, you could also try to hook it up into your DVR if you have one, or if your DVR has an open USB port to use to power this up, because you will need something to power up this amplifier right here. So what I want to do is grab the USB port or the USB cable that comes in from the amplifier and just plug it into the USB port in the TV. And there it is. So that is my setup. I have the amplifier of the antenna hooked up to the TV through the coaxial cable, as well as the USB hooked up to the TV. So no need to power up the amplifier through the wall. And you have I also have the other end of the amplifier hooked up to the cable coming in from the antenna itself, right there. And the antenna is located on the facing the window of my wall for better reception of the signal. And one thing that I noticed is that the length of the cable itself from the antenna to the amplifier, it's long enough for my situation. It seems to be long enough, at least for my small room. But depending on your layout, on how far away your TV is from your antenna, from your window, you might need an extension of this coaxial cord or a longer cable that you should be able to find at the local hardware store. But anyways, that is my layout, and that is how you set it up. Now let's go ahead and see if we can configure the antenna. So I have the remote right here, and we will try it out to see how if it works. So I just turned on the TV, and that when it's first hooked up, it might work kind of erratically with bad signal, as you can see right here, or no signal at all, because it's not configured. So what you want to do is you want to go to the menu. In this case, I have the menu right here in the remote. And then you go to your settings. Depending on your TV, you will go to, it will have a different settings menu. So what I want to do in mine, at least in this Samsung, is I want to go to the one that says, or the option that says antenna. And you go to that option, and then you go to auto program. And you click enter. And then you select air as the antenna. And it should be able to start setting up or configuring the reception of the antenna into your TV and auto-programming it. And it looks like it's working. It's about 19% done. Looks like it's going to take a few minutes, so we'll see how it turns out. Alright, so it looks like the configuration is done, and as you can see there in the message, 32 channels were recognized and configured into the TV, so I was able to get a total of 32 channels according to the auto programming. Now I'm back with my remote here, and let's see what channels I got. So let's start off with, I guess, with channel number, well, let me turn the volume down a little bit. There you go. So let me go to channel 2. And the first thing that I noticed is the quality of the signal is just very, very good. It's actually better signal than the one that I get with my cable connection downstairs. So at least in some of the HDTV channels. And as you can see, you get some of the local channels. Some of them seem to be just a noise. But in general, it looks pretty good. It looks like you get a lot of the local channels, as well as some standard air channels as well. But in general, you should be able to get. I would say if you live close to a big city, you should be able to get at least 30 or 25 channels on the HDTV antenna. And like I said, most of them are going to be local channels. But it looks pretty good. It looks like it works just fine. Alright, so I just went through all the list of the 32 channels that my TV was able to program, and I did count the full 32 channels. A pretty good amount of channels, considering that this is something that you would get for free through the air with this antenna compared to paying for cable. A pretty good amount of channels, but I will say some of the channels, the image quality is really good. For example, this one that looks like full def HDTV. But some of the channels are not HD. It depends on the channels that you really get in your location. And I will show you, for example, and another cool feature is from your TV, in case it has the option, you have the option to go into the channel list. And it will tell you the names of all the channels that you get right here, or that were configured in the programming phase. And you can go, for example, to this channel 34. And as you can see there, let's go back to it. The image quality is not that good, and it also has a lot of noise in there. It really depends on where you are located to be able to get the full HD features or the HDTV quality in all the channels. But most likely you're gonna get HDTV quality in some of the local channels that are close to your antenna or where you are. And some of the further ones are the ones that have an antenna further away from where you are. The image quality is not going to be that good compared to those ones. But in general, I would say that if you are located close to a big city, you should be able to get at least 20 good channels to watch. And like I said, a good way to cut the cord and be able to get a good amount of channels through the HDTV antenna and not have to pay a bill every month for a cable. And finally, to just wrap up my review, I think this is a good product. I like the feature that it comes with a USB connection for the amplifier right there. That way you don't have to mess with more cables coming into your wall. You can just plug it into your TV, depending if it has the USB port available. I like the design of the antenna itself. I like how it is very flexible, and you can also stick it into the window if you want to. It is very light. One of the drawbacks is the length of the antenna, or the cable coming in from the antenna to the TV itself. I think it's a little bit short. I have owned other antennas before, and the cables have been longer than this one. I think they could have provided a little bit longer, so you can be at least a little bit more flexible with the layout of your antenna and your TV. Otherwise, I don't see anything else wrong with this antenna. I think it serves its purpose. You get a really good amount of channels for free, and a good way and a good product to be able to cut the cord finally and not have to pay any more cable bills. So that is my review. Let me know if you have any questions on how to set up the product or any questions about the antenna itself. Thanks for watching, and take care.